Imagine you are a soldier in a trench in 1915. It's April 22nd. You're cold, wet, and exhausted, surrounded by mud and the stench of war. For months your world has been this narrow ditch, with the distant rumble of artillery shaking the ground. You peer over the trench, across no man's land, to the enemy lines just a few hundred yards away. Suddenly, a strange greenish-yellow cloud drifts from the German trenches, moving silently and hugging the ground. Soldiers watch, confused. No one has seen anything like it. The cloud is beautiful in the sunlight, but it feels wrong. It doesn't behave like smoke. It creeps low, filling every crater. A sharp metallic scent fills the air, stinging your eyes and nose. Birds fall silent. Rats flee in panic. Dread sets in. This is not smoke. Officers shout orders, but no one knows what to do. There's no training for this. The green cloud is about to swallow you whole. This was the reality for thousands of French and Algerian soldiers near Ypres. They were the first to face a weapon that would change warfare forever: poison gas. With no protection, survival seemed impossible. This is the story of one of World War I's darkest chapters, a story of horror, desperation, and human ingenuity. Ordinary men, caught in an unimaginable situation, fought for their lives against an invisible enemy, long before gas masks existed. Their struggle is a powerful lesson about the brutal nature of war. The battlefield had become a place where even the air could kill. The terror of that first gas attack would haunt survivors for the rest of their lives. It was a new kind of terror, one that attacked the very act of breathing. The world would never be the same. The age of chemical warfare had begun, and for those in the trenches, there was no turning back. By 1915, World War I was deadlocked. Armies were trapped in trenches stretching hundreds of miles. Life was misery, mud, rats, boredom, and sudden death. Machine guns and artillery made advances nearly impossible. Commanders, desperate to break the stalemate, sought a new weapon. Chemical warfare, once banned, became an option as the rules of war crumbled. German leaders, with chemists like Fritz Haber, saw poison gas as a way to clear enemy trenches without costly frontal assaults. The plan: release clouds of chlorine gas to cause panic and open a gap in the enemy line. The gas, heavier than air, would sink into trenches and dugouts. They hoped it would end the stalemate and bring victory, but they underestimated the suffering it would unleash. Gas was seen as a practical solution, not pure terror, until the consequences became clear. The cold calculation of war would soon devastate thousands. On April 22, 1915, the Germans released 168 tons of chlorine gas along a 4-mile front near Ypres. Allied soldiers, unaware, went about their routines. At 5 p.m., a hissing sound signaled the release of the gas, forming a greenish-yellow cloud drifting toward the trenches. At first, soldiers were puzzled. Some thought it was a smokescreen. As the cloud enveloped them, confusion turned to terror. The gas attacked eyes, throats, and lungs. Men coughed, gasped, and clawed at their throats, desperate for air. Panic erupted. There was nowhere to run. Some tried to escape, only to collapse in no man's land or fall to machine gun fire. The gas reacted with moisture in the lungs, forming acid and causing horrific injuries. Within minutes, a 4-mile gap was torn in the Allied line. The trenches were filled with the dead and dying. Survivors stumbled away, faces contorted in pain. Germans advanced cautiously, shocked by the devastation. The effectiveness of the gas stunned even its creators. Chemical warfare had arrived, turning the battlefield into a nightmare. The act of breathing itself had become deadly. In the chaos of the first gas attack, soldiers were defenseless, but desperation sparked ingenuity. Some noticed that burying their faces in wet mud offered slight relief. Captain Francis Scrimger, a Canadian medical officer, realized chlorine was water-soluble. He ordered men to urinate on cloth and press it over their mouths and noses. It sounded mad, but with no other options, many obeyed. The science: urine contains urea, which breaks down into ammonia, a base that neutralizes acidic chlorine gas. This crude method saved lives. News spread quickly. Soon, official orders followed. Buckets of water and chemicals appeared in trenches, but urine was often the fastest solution. For a time, this desperate act became standard survival. It was a grim testament to the will to live. The Allies adapted quickly, using chemical-soaked pads as makeshift respirators, but the chemical arms race had begun. Scientists developed deadlier gases, phosgene and mustard gas. Phosgene was colorless, hard to detect, and its effects were delayed, making it a psychological weapon. Mustard gas, introduced in 1917, was designed to injure, not just kill. It caused blisters, blindness, and contaminated the battlefield for days. Gas masks protected lungs, but not skin. Mustard gas made every inch of ground dangerous. Soldiers lived in constant fear of an invisible, lingering poison. The war became even more hellish. Chemical weapons had changed the rules of survival. The true horror of gas warfare is found in the words of those who survived. Harry Patch, the last British trench veteran, never forgot the sight of a comrade blistered and yellow from mustard gas. William Pressey described choking, blindness, and chaos as men trampled each other to escape chlorine gas. Gas was an enemy you couldn't fight. Inside you, tearing you apart. Field hospitals overflowed with casualties. Nurse Vera Britton recalled wards of blinded men, silent except for groans of pain. Survivors face chronic lung disease and trauma for life. These voices remind us that war is lived by individuals, not statistics. Young men faced a form of warfare beyond comprehension. Their stories of burning lungs and desperate survival are a testament to their suffering and resilience. Despite terror, they endured, helped each other, and carried on. Their accounts ensure we never forget the human cost of chemical warfare. The memory of gas attacks haunted them forever. Their courage in the face of invisible death is unforgettable. Their stories are a warning and a legacy. The urine-soaked cloth was only a start. Scientists raced to create better protection. The first solution was the black veil respirator, a chemical-soaked cotton pad tied over the face. Next came the hypo helmet, a flannel bag soaked in chemicals pulled over the head. It was hot, claustrophobic, and hard to see through, but it saved lives. As new gases appeared, masks had to be updated constantly. The breakthrough was the box respirator, a rubberized mask with glass eyepieces connected to a filter canister. It became standard issue and soldiers drilled to put it on in seconds. The gas mask became a symbol of the war, a grim reminder of the invisible threat. It offered hope, but never complete safety. The fear of gas never left the trenches. Poison gas shocked the world. It wasn't the deadliest weapon, but it was the most feared. Images of blinded, choking men fueled public outrage. After the war, the Geneva Protocol banned chemical weapons, but the threat lingered. Nations continued to stockpile gas, fearing its return. Gas masks became symbols of civilian preparedness in World War II. Thankfully, large-scale gas attacks never returned, but the legacy endures. Gas warfare is a story of scientific progress turned to horror. It's a warning about abandoning humanity in pursuit of victory. The image of a soldier with a urine-soaked cloth is a symbol of desperation and ingenuity. The memory of those who suffered in the green clouds of Ypres calls us to choose humanity over cruelty. The lessons of gas warfare remain urgent and unforgettable.